Service. The Senate Subcommittee on Investigations uncovered evidence of similar problems in the government printing office, where many classified documents are printed and distributed. Also in the Voice of America program, which was designed to reflect the American viewpoint through radio broadcasts in Europe. And in the American Overseas Libraries, which were part of the State Department program, supposedly to combat communist propaganda abroad. The CIA and its predecessor, the OSS, came into the spotlight on numerous occasions. In 1952, the head of the CIA, General Walter Bedell Smith, stated publicly that he was sure there were communist agents working inside his organization. No less than 3 defectors from the Soviet KGB have stated that this is so. They are Anatol Golitsyn, Yuri Nosenko, and Mikhail Golanevsky. Although their testimony has been clouded by controversy, the fact remains that there never has been an outside investigation of subversion in the CIA. The military is another critical branch of government that never has been investigated for possible communist penetration, even though there is evidence that serious problems may exist. In Italy, for example, in 1967, Giorgio Rinaldi confessed that he had been part of a Soviet underground operation involving 300 officers in NATO, some of whom were American military officers. In 1954, Lieutenant Colonel Yuri Rastorov of the Soviet Secret Police sought political asylum in the West. He had been the director of Soviet espionage operations in Tokyo. After coming to the United States, he revealed that he personally had worked with several members of the American Military Intelligence Service. In 1964, Swedish Air Force Colonel Stig Wennerstrom admitted that for 14 years he had transmitted information to the Soviets regarding nuclear strike capabilities of NATO and the United States. When asked where he obtained this information, he replied that it was from the head of the American Intelligence Service at the Pentagon. Turning to the legislative branch of government, Senator Barry Goldwater in 1975 was interviewed on television and revealed that communists had infiltrated into the office staffs of as many as 9 members of Congress. This information, he said, came from the CIA commission of which Vice President Rockefeller was a member.
I was told when I was flying to the funeral of Chiang Kai-shek with Vice President Rockefeller that his committee had learned of instances where the offices of senators had been infiltrated by Soviet agents or Soviets or something. I said, "Are you going to publish that?" He said he would, but it was never published. I asked him once why it wasn't. He said, "I was requested not to publish it." Now that you've asked me, I'm going to...
It was never revealed who requested the Vice President not to release these findings. Infiltration into legislative staffs is a major accomplishment for the Soviets. But even more important is the placement of agents into the legislature itself, men who are legally elected to office. In 1961, the House Committee on Un-American Activities published a report entitled "The New Role of National Legislative Bodies in the Communist Conspiracy." This report revealed that a number of communists, posing as Republicans or Democrats, had been successfully elected to the state legislature of Washington, the Michigan Senate, and the United States Congress, and that the Communist Party had boasted of its role in helping to elect candidates in a number of states, including California, Ohio, New York, and Illinois.
By the mid-1950s, the underground apparatus of the Communist Party was in serious trouble. The one thing a conspiracy cannot survive is exposure. Yet a steady stream of former communists and FBI undercover operatives gradually was exposing the entire operation to public view. This was accomplished primarily through congressional investigative committees, which put the testimony of these people into the public record. And one of the most important aspects of this history is the fact that even though the President and the heads of various government agencies repeatedly were informed by the FBI and given names with documented proof, almost never were these Soviet agents removed, and in fact many of them were promoted until the investigative committees of Congress stepped in, made the information public, and created external pressure for action. As far as the communists were concerned, something had to be done to stop these committees. and it is the story of how they succeeded in that counterattack that we shall take up next.